All right, y'all. Today's episode is smooth, soulful, and straight out the golden age of R&B vibes. We got a man who sounds like he time traveled here from the Marvin Gaye era, but made a pit stop in 225 to sprinkle some new flavor. He's worked with legends. He got a voice that'll make you probably text your ex. And today we're going to get into the music, the stories, his second alter ego, the vibes behind it all. So pour yourself a drink. But I know, like he's doing, light up a cigar, and let's welcome the soulful crooner himself, Mr. October London. I knew it. Oh, man.
What's up, man?
Hey, you got it going on better than I do. And you got tell us what you're drinking, because that's something else, which is?
I got a drink on my bourbon, man. I got to drink on my bourbon.
What's the name of it?
You can get it right now. It's Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon presents October London's Bourbon. So you can get it at octobersbourbon.com right now. You know what I'm saying?
You know what happened? I've been out of town, and the package you sent me didn't get here with my bourbon in. I'm just saying, it didn't get here yet.
What I'm trying to do is get you here. I'm going to fly you here, and then we can play golf. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do.
Hey, listen, I was just back that way I was in Chicago, back in Toledo last week. So should have checked in, because I drove from Chicago back, so I had to pass South Bend. I know, man. I'm tripping, man.
Oh, it's all right, man. I know, hey, we be busy, man. We be traveling all the time, and things slip our mind, but we ain't going to let that happen again, man. You got to come. I got ribs on the grill right now. See, if you get here,
I'm a non-pork guy, but if you got some chicken, if you got turkey, you got beef, I'm good.
I make some killer chicken. I make some killer steak. So let's go.
Living a good life, man. Hey, listen, first of all, I appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy. I know you're traveling a lot. And I know this is going to be something special for the fans of the show and just people in general who want to get to know you a lot better. A lot of people have heard different interviews, got a chance to see you perform. Yeah. But for those that are just getting into the October London wave, who is October London?
Oh, well, first off, it's an honor and a blessing to be on this show, I have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do so many interviews and everything. I was super excited for this one. So I was like rushing to put the ribs on. Like, I got to get everything situated. You know, Dennis, my agent, is on his way here, you know. So, right. But October London is, if I were to describe October London, he's singer, songwriter, producer. But I think the biggest part of October London is that he's a multi-genre artist. Obviously, we're going to get into that whole thing, but that's the biggest part, is that I'm a multi-genre artist, man. And I just love dibbling and dabbling into different genres, man, whether it's country, pop, reggaeton, R&B, jazz, blues. I got it all in the hard drive. So,
listen, let's back up just a little bit, because I want to dig into that. But your family, in particular, your father played the guitar. I know he was on tour with Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's an influence, along with other singers, but marry those two together. You got your father's influence and background and what he did, but then it was, you studied the music. Father and who else kind of influenced your sound and kind of who you want to be as an artist? Yeah,
no, for sure. Like, when I talk about my dad being in music, he was in music, but he stopped doing music at 29, because he had to raise a family and all that. And he ended up being very successful, being a vice president for a major company. And he ended up being very successful. But before that company came along and hired him, and he progressed, he was opening up for these artists like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and just so many artists. Obviously, he could tell a whole, the whole plethora of people he's opened up for. I always get it wrong, so I don't want to say anything bad. Because I'd be like, yeah, my daddy used to open up for Morris Day and the Time.
Exactly,
So I don't want to say that, but a lot of people be like, oh, so so it was an easy in for him. No, he stopped at 29. I wasn't even around. So it wasn't like, oh, he put me in front of all these artists and I got on. Like, I had to really struggle and hustle to be and to get where I'm at today. So, I had him as an influence. And what's crazy is I've never seen him even play. He pick up the guitar. I've heard it on cassette and on his reel to reel, but I've never.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
You never seen Pops, your father, actually play for you, play for nothing?
Nope. He put that guitar down and never picked it back up. He's got some. I'm sure I can curse on here, right? I'm good.
Yeah, you're all right.
Oh, he's. I'm sure he's cold, but he's got some badass guitars, my man. He's got some badass guitars that's just sitting in cases. My guitar player RJ that you met at my show, he came and saw some of his guitars and was just drooling at the mouth for him, man. So he's got some badass guitars, but I've never seen him play. I never got a chance to see it, so that sucks. And I'll be trying to get him in the studio. He'd be like, no, I'm afraid to go back because I'll end up getting into it. Yeah, so I've never seen him play. I've only heard him play and I'm like, man, you were ice cold. So
but you never had the inkling to pick up the guitar. Now, the reason why I say that is because I had Sean Stockman on here a couple weeks ago, and he's really got into the guitar, and he plays it on some of his sets when Boys and Men together. So that never was like an added attribute to what you wanted to do and learn.
No. I can play piano, and I can't even play piano. I piece things together. Yeah. I can't get it right with my hands. I can't, so I produce all of my stuff, but then when I need like some outside guitar, I'll call somebody.
You go get somebody.
Yeah, I have to call somebody, man, because I can't do it, So no, I've never thought about, can you bring the guitar down so I can just figure it out? I've never asked him to play because it was never in my mind to even play it. I figured it out on Logic, and at that time it was Fruity Loops when I was 15. So certain programs, certain things like that, I could do that, but nah, man, I never did it. So I had him playing the music like Stevie Wonder, the Gap Band, and Frankie Beverly and Maze, and all that kind of stuff. That's what gave me. And then him just sitting down talking to me like, man, this is how these guys used to play. This is what these guys used to do, and all this. So it kind of gave me that juice to keep going. But I've never seen him play. But I've always listened to the greats, and that's why I am where I am, and that's how I am. Who I am is because I listened to those greats and I studied them. And he was always like, you have to study your craft. If this is what you want to do, like any job that you're doing, you have to study, you have to hone in on that craft, and you got to take it absolutely freaking serious. And that's exactly what I did.
Well, it's kind of like with sports too, because in order to be great, you got to understand who the greats are and study exactly what made them great. And a lot of times it's not just what they did on the court, it's their mentality off the court and what they did to prepare themselves to be great. And that leads me into, obviously, if you listen to the album, especially the Rebirth of Marvin, Marvin Gaye has had a big influence on your life, not just from the singing perspective, but also the kind of man he was politically, always speaking about it. I know you're in that realm too. You got a couple songs that talk about, from that perspective, from a political side. We're going to touch on this a little bit about Marvin Gaye and why not just the music was important to you, but what he stood for and how he expressed that in his music, but also if there's somebody else during that time period, a singer, or maybe a couple singers that kind of influenced the sound that you have now.
Yeah, no, Marvin was a big influence. I'd have to put him in that list. The biggest influences, maybe top 5, have to be Marvin for his just sensuality in songs. You could hear that he was serious about, and he talked about it. I've watched interviews with him. The way he talked and all that kind of stuff, man, he was just sensual all the time, man. He was just chill. He was always chewing some gum. I'm very sexual with my songs, but and I'm just like, man, this dude is stone cold with it.
Right.
So you have him, and then you have Ronald Isley and the Isley brothers, where he was, he's Mr. La Da Da Da.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's got that vibe, so I got to put Ronald Isley and Isley Brothers for that soulfulness. I got to put Marvin for sensuality. I got to put Frankie Beverly for his. He knew how to grasp an audience. He knew how to take a 5-person barbecue and turn it into a block party.
Exactly.
So you gotta have that aspect. You have your Teddy Pendergrasses with the open shirt showing the taco meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have all these artists, that I grew up on until I got to the 90s, and I got to that level. But they were all major parts in me trying to figure out who I am, because with the album Rebirth of Marvin that I came out with in 2022, in February 2022, I didn't want to be the new Marvin. I didn't want people to be like, oh, well, he's trying to be the new Marvin. He wants to fill his shoes. I did not want to do that. And me and the Marvin Gaye estate kind of got into it for about a good month about that. And they were just kind of taken back by it. But it was all beef aside, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're all good. It's family to me now. They sent me some of Marvin's items from his house. We're all good. But, that was the major point. Is Snoop really wanted to hone in on me doing that Marvin Gaye vibe. But it was me going into the studio. You can't lie. You can't lie to the track. The track is going to tell you where you should go. So if I feel like a track that I'm playing has the Ozzy Brothers kind of vibe and all that kind of stuff, I have to go with that. Like, you don't put Lil Wayne essence on a Marvin Gaye record. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be true to the art. You have to be true to the track. You got to be true to the sound.
Let me back up real quick, because Nona Gaye, I know Nona Gaye. She did one of my foundation dinners. This was back in the day. Rest in peace to my former publicist, Patty Webster. Hooked it up. She was a part of my fundraiser I used to have back in Toledo. But what was the biggest obstacle for the estate for you that kind of was their pain point, but finally got over? When
Rebirth of Marvin got released, and people got to really listening to it. When it got released, it wasn't getting any press or play on it. Not that I saw at the time. And then out of nowhere, Troy Marshall, my radio guy, Troy Marshall, calls me and he's like, yo, man, it's picking up steam. And at that point, that's when I got nervous, because I'm like, here we go. People are saying I sound like Marvin. Some people are hating it. I had my interview on The Breakfast Club where Charlamagne was like, no, ain't gonna work. People were saying that. And then, I think it was Nona that had a interview. It was one of the Marvin Gaye estate had an interview, and they were just like, it's not that he's stealing Marvin Gaye samples, because I wasn't trying to use any Marvin Gaye samples at that time. But he was just like, man, he kind of sounds like him, and it's freaking me out. So it was more like and then people are like, oh, this is the new Marvin Gaye. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to be that. I'm not trying to be that. It was just a vibe. It was just a vibe. Please don't say that. Don't say that. Because I didn't want to start war with the Marvin Gaye estate.
So let me stop you there real quick. So being the business person that you are and Snoop is, why at the beginning didn't you just approach the estate and say, this is the project I'm working on? What's your thoughts?
I didn't have the contacts for him. Anyway, I didn't have the contact. I don't know if Snoop had him.
Man, Snoop didn't get in touch with anybody.
I couldn't get in touch with anybody.
Oh, really?
So I didn't have that kind of clout, man. I couldn't. I can't make the phone. I couldn't make the phone calls I can make now. I couldn't make then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but Snoop could.
Snoop could, but I don't know if he was close with the family or not like that. I don't know if he couldn't call him, because he didn't make that. He didn't make that call. I don't think. I think maybe one of the songs on Rebirth had a Marvin Gaye, a little bit of a sample or a piece or something like that. So, but then at that point, your team does that. So Marvin wasn't calling the sister or the cousin or, hey, Snoop, yo, we're about to do this thing. I don't want you to be mad at it. It wasn't like that. So we just kind of put it out there and was like, please, God, don't let it go, to the point where we're going to get sued or nothing like that. And we didn't. Obviously, there was just a little backlash at the front end, because they thought that somebody may have made a post or something. I saw a post that he was like, "This is Marvin Gaye's long lost son, and he should get money and all this stuff." And I'm like, I knew this was going to happen. And Snoop was the one who called it the Rebirth of Marvin, and I was not for that, but it worked out, thank God. And I was just like, man, this is going to be bad, man. It's going to be bad. And it just turned out to be so good, because after a while, I got on the phone with the family and I told them how I felt about it. And I was like, look, I'm not trying to be your brother or your cousin or whoever I was speaking with. I just heard a song. It had a Marvin Gaye vibe. And I felt like the track was saying, hey, just do that and let the people decide. And it just worked out. but I had no contact to call them and let them know ahead of time at all. Otherwise, I would have made that phone call and said, hey, people are going to be talking. This is what I feel like. This is what should be going on. No disrespect. I just had a vibe going on. It's nothing personal. And, but I didn't. So, but it worked out.
Well, it worked out. Okay. So, and that's refreshing to hear too, I think, from a lot of people, because if they don't know you, haven't talked to you or seen some interviews, they'll say, well, he came into it trying to sound like Marvin Gaye or have a similar sound to that, even though you have different tracks on, that LP, that Mulholland Drive is totally different. Okay. But it sounds like it. So now that you've done it, and you were going through it, was it a fear that you get trapped into a certain category, or people paint the picture saying, okay, well, he's just, and I know it's different on the album, but people hear the Marvin Gaye and they associate that kind of first and foremost with October in London a little bit more, of being trapped in that box. Is there a fear of that?
Yeah. No, I feared the hell out of that. I did not want to be pigeonholed into something. Mm-hmm. It's like an actor always making movies about cars, racing. So it's like seeing Vin Diesel in a serious film with Denzel, and like him being in like, or anything of that nature. You're just like, oh, this is odd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you haven't seen it. Because you haven't seen it. You haven't seen Vin Diesel in that role. Right.
Yeah. Vin Diesel is cars, Fast and Furious, action, hanging out of helicopter, that type of thing. So, it's like, it was weird. So I didn't want to get pigeonholed, and I was so afraid of that. And in the beginning, that first year and a half, but no, I have to be honest with you, man, 2 years. So I dropped that in 2022, 23, 2024. So for 2 years, from 2022 to 2024, I was getting frustrated, man, because
really
I was doing my meet and greets, and people would come up, man, what's up, little Marvin? What's up, little Marvin? No. What's going on, man? How you doing? Oh, hey, look, no disrespect, but I'm October London. I'm not Lil Marvin. I'm not his son. I'm not trying to be that. Oh yeah, man, but you man, you just like him, man. You sound just like, yeah, but it's more to me than that. I'm the first 2 years, man, I ain't gonna say I was depressed, but I was just frustrated. Like, please stop calling me Lil Marvin. Please stop. Like, I get it. And I was just paying homage to the man. That's why on the second album, October Nights album, I was like, I'm gonna start it with that because the fan base knows me for that. And then I'm gonna end the album totally different. I'm gonna ballad this thing out. I'm gonna go a little bit more R&B, traditional R&B. I had to get out of that, and now with me releasing all these other things, now people are like, oh, so there's more to him. He's not I don't want people to think I'm a cover artist. Some people were like, oh, he flipped that Marvin Gaye record. He's just singing the same lyrics. And I'm like,
what?
No, I'm not.
Right, if you listen to it, it's totally different lyric. It just has a lot of his mannerisms in his voice, his inflections, ad libs. See, those things, I'm a Marvin Gaye. That's my favorite of all time. So you already know. So,
absolutely.
So when people, you got to understand, your biggest fear came true for a short period of time, unfortunately, which is people painted you in this box as that, especially the older generation, because as we know, nostalgia plays a huge role in how we view people. Because back then, when they were listening to Marvin, they were going through something, whether it was good experience, bad experience, and they relate that time period to that music. So when they hear something very eerily similar, the first thing they're going to associate with is that person, that time, and now you're doing it, they're going to put you in that box. So how do you, and you just kind of described it a little bit, because you've been described as having more of a nostalgic sound, fresh, but yet you got to combine R&B with something new. When you're writing, how do you kind of keep the history of the music with R&B, but yet this is 2025. R&B is totally different in today's world.
Well, for me, I listen. I have kind of a eclectic palette, so I listen to everything. Like I had one of my boys over last night I made him some steak. So I got to make some steak.
Okay, all right.
I made him some rib eyes, and we just
Okay.
discussed business. He's a big business dude, big business, and he came from Toronto, Canada. So we were just sitting there talking, but I know I know what he likes to listen to, and I was just playing songs that I was listening to CCR and the Eagles, and I just have an eclectic palette. So I've always listened to different artists. I think what's wrong now, or I don't know if I could say what's wrong.
Don't say wrong. It's just a different time. It's a different time.
It's a different time
and different era.
Different time, different era. I think artists they hone in on one thing and one thing only. It's like, oh, I make trap records and rap records, so that's all I listen to. I listen to all these trap records. I listen to rock, pop, EDM, everything. So that helps me get out of that box, because when I'm making the Rebirth of Marvin and I'm going to tour it and I'm going to do these songs, I'm getting on stage and I love performing for my fans. I love it so much. I love my fans. But after, that first tour, I'm like, okay, I've done this 100 times. I got to do something else. I got to go over here in the pop up. So then I went home and made an EDM record. And then I go and sit with radio interviews, things like that. And they're playing the EDM records. They're not playing Rebirth of Marvin. They're playing the EDM. So now I'm like, thank you for playing this other stuff. And then I go here, and then I go to Nashville, and they're playing my country records. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing what I should be doing. So that's what helps me switch gears, because I feel like if I stay in this realm of R&B all the time, you just get stagnant. And that's what happens to a lot of R&B artists, is they just sit in this area and they've talked about love making so much that that's all they talk about. What about heartbreak? Okay, well, I'm going to do heartbreak and I'm going to do love making. Well, what else? What else you going to talk about? You have to have these certain things. Music is just a gumbo of flavors, and you have to dig into all of it. Now, I've never made gumbo, so I can't go through the ingredients.
We get the analogy, though. We get the analogy.
So I've never made gumbo. I'm scared to death of it, because I know my first pot of gumbo is going to be trash. So
hot garbage.
So you have all these things, and you got to take the meat and the potatoes, and that's all I'm gonna give to you, because that's all I know. Go some shrimp, and you got to take all these things, and you have to show people that you can do all this stuff. You can't just make steak every freaking day. You got to make ribs. You got to make all these things. You got to make your sides and all that. So that's what music to me is. So that's how I stay relevant, and I surprise my fans, but I also tell them, hey, look, on Friday you're going to get October London. On Saturday you're going to get Sam Nash. On Sunday in Monaco, you're going to get my DJ EDM name is DJ Dirty Chai. So you're going to get all three of these guys at the same time, and you're going to get the brand of October London, which is the bourbon. You're going to get a brand of the wine that I just got done doing a deal with. I got a wine coming, and it'll be coming to your house. I'm gonna get your address, your digits, and I'm gonna get that sense. So you have all these things that you have to touch different people. You can't just stay in one lane. There's more than one bank in this world.
Listen, it's a great transition, because I love to hear that, because you may be the first person I know that has 3 alter egos, okay, besides being Jared Samuel. You know what I mean? Jared Samuel.
The government.
The government name, with October London. And now you just touched on it with Sam Nash, because Samuel is your middle name, and Nash because of Nashville, right?
I love Nashville, right?
But here's the thing, and I love it, because you're broadening out your perspective, you're broadening out your horizon, and also your talent allows you to be able to do that. But that is a challenging genre of music. We see that with Beyonce, okay? And Beyonce is Beyonce. What's the challenges for you? And I know you love the music. You talked about different. I'm the same way. I was in Rotterdam year before last at the North Sea Jazz Festival. Couldn't wait to see the closeout performance by Sting. So I appreciate it. But for country, it's such a niche, like country, people who love their music are staunch. They don't want it to be touched. So how mentally have you entered that space to prepare for what comes with that? already talked about the Marvin stuff. What came with that? Nashville and country is totally different.
I'm super comfortable making country music in my house and in the studio.
Uh-huh.
But man, I'm not gonna lie. As Sam Nash, I'm going out on tour starting, I think, the 6th or the 8th. Oh no, the 8th of October. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death, man, to do it, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? We got the Doolies and Damsels tour starting the 8th in Chicago, St. Louis the 9th, Nashville October 14th, and Atlanta the 24th. And we're starting at the city wineries. I'm scared to death, to be honest, man. With R&B, I was like, whatever. But with this country music, man, country music is like bourbon. It's a cult, man. They are super serious about that. They are super serious about their bourbon in Kentucky, and they're serious about country music when it comes down to, the writing style and where you're going and are you a fraud and all that kind of stuff. R&B is like if you're an R&B, I think R&B is, we should make it a little harder to get into, but R&B is like free submission in the club.
You're right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And country, you put out a country record, and I won't mention the artists that have gotten, beat up in country, but if you don't come correct, they'll just be like, nope, no play on the radio, no play in the bars, no play in nothing. So for me to gear up for it, I've just tried to be still myself. I just like making the music. I'm not going out there like, howdy, cowboy, and all this, and I got a farm and I ride horses. No, I'm not saying that. With Sam Nash, you're getting. I'm not with the Cavender. I haven't bought any Cavender boots, but I'm going on Louis Vuitton and getting these cowboy boots from Louis Vuitton. So I'm still, the bougie cowboy type of vibe. I'm still coming in clean. I'm gonna have the cowboy hat, but it's a Louis Vuitton cowboy hat. So I'm coming in like the Louis. Actually, now that I might be the Louis Vuitton cowboy. I might have to go with that right there.
But you understand what kind of conflict that can create when you're in that, because even though, and you said this, and I think a lot of people understand, is that basically country is an offshoot of gospel, the blues, that kind of, because it tells a lot of stories, heartbreak, a lot of things like that have happened in people's lives, and it's the way you present that. As the average man, woman that, survived whatever it was that happened in their life. And now you come in and want to jazz. Not that other country artists didn't do it, but they were country artists. So people can still relate to that. You're talking about dropping in from 30,000 feet and having the Louis on and the tailored suit and doing this with the cowboy hat. Do you think that people will especially the people who are big country, will misinterpret that and then not really listen to your music because of that and not hear what you're singing?
Yeah, I think they'll take the music serious. I think at first, this first little go around for this first Doolies and Damsels tour, I think that they're going to definitely look at me with the over the thing, like, what you doing? Hold on, let me see what you got here. That type of thing. I think they're going to look at me and say, who is Sam Nash? And then somebody's going to say, oh, he's really October London. He's really a Grammy Award-winning artist already. In country? No, in R&B. What the hell he's doing? What the hell is he doing here? Oh, he wanted to express himself. Yeah, we'll see about that. I think that's going to be the first hurdle. If I can get past that first hurdle, I think I'll be okay. But I think the music will speak for itself. I think they'll hear it and they'll say, okay. All right. The music is speaking for itself. I like the music, but is he true to this artistry? Is he true to the brand of country? Is he true to the roots? Hey, look, I live in Indiana, and although you got cornfields some odd miles away and all that, it's in country. Well, I'm not down south, so hopefully, now if I was a guy coming from New York, they could really kind of beat me up about it, but I think being in Indiana, they'll be like, all right, we'll take a listen, but we're definitely going to be on you. Oh, trust me. Watch. I'm going to get backlash. Me and you are going to have a call here, but in the coming weeks, and I'm going to say, yeah, remember when we did the podcast? They gave me a little pushback, but that's where my job comes in to show them, hey, look, I'm not here to disrespect your just the craft and everything country. I'm just here to have fun, show my appreciation, pay homage to country, and I'm not saying, oh, I deserve a country Grammy and all that. I just want to have fun. That's all I want to do. I want to go back to when making music is just fun, and that's honestly why I like being on death row, because I could still have fun. So hopefully they take me, they bring me into their homes, and they love the country music so far. It's been pretty good. And we had a little test run with Jamie Foxx and Snoop put out a movie called Day Shift on Netflix. And that was obviously first #1 movie I can have under my belt because I did the music on it. And I did a song called I Don't Give a Damn. And I went as October London because I didn't have Sam Nash built yet. So I just went as Sam London. October London. And dude, the feedback was crazy. They loved it, but they couldn't put a face on it. They were like, we don't know who this is. We don't know if he's white, black, whatever. We just know we love the song. And it did views. They loved it. They loved it. It was one of the most popular songs on Day Shift was that song. It's when Snoop is driving in on the Dodge Durango, which I'm a big fan of Dodge Ram. He rode in on Dodge in the Dodge not Durango, Dodge Ram, and he met up with Jamie Foxx, and they was playing "I May Be a Fool with My Money, but Don't Call Me Broke." Right. They loved it, bro, and they didn't even know what my face looked like or nothing. And I was like, okay, so the music is gonna speak for himself. The music is gonna speak for itself. So I can give you good music. I just don't want you to judge me on my appearance. So I'm not showing up in a suit. I'm showing up in the Levi with the Levi jeans, with the Louis boots, and that's it. Like, Louis hat, cowboy hat, Louis boots, but everything else is denim, Levi. I'm not going all suited out. That's October London's look. You know what I'm saying? DJ Dirty Chai is more urban look, all that kind of stuff. But, the Dolce shoe, all that kind of stuff, the whole urban look. But Sam Nash, I hope they just take it. I just hope they take me serious because I'm not here to make fun of country. I'm not here to outshine someone. I'm just here because I love country, I respect it, and I just want to have fun in it. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
No, I got you. I appreciate what you're saying and what you're doing because you're stepping out there and you're betting on yourself. It's a fear there of kind of the backlash, but not fear that they will not like what you put out, which is totally two different things in what you're saying. And betting on yourself is important. And you worked with Snoop now. Was it 2016, 2017 that he signed you? And we know the background about that. But working with Snoop, is there something now that you worked with him now 8 years that we don't know about? Now because he's out there, but is there something we don't know about Snoop?
Man, something you don't know about Snoop. He can't hold his liquor.
Hey, now okay. I mean, Snoop weighed like 105.
Man, look, I made a drink for Snoop at Dr. Dre's house, man. We were working on a missionary album at Dr. Dre's, man, and Snoop was like, you know what, I'm in a good mood. Why don't you go ahead and make me one of them drinks you be making? I said, you sure? He was like, yeah. I was like, you want me to lighten it up, though? Make it? He's like, no, make it how you make it. Okay. I made him, what did I make him?
Come on, don't tell me it was something light, bro. It had to be some bourbon or something. No? Tequila?
No. You know what? It might have been like, because Dre does gin and juice.
Yeah.
It might have been, and obviously Snoop does gin and juice too, but I think I was like, I'm drinking tequila right now. I'm going to make you a tequila and apple juice or tequila and orange juice or something. And I made it. I did a two-finger pour.
Ice? You had a lot of ice, or would you just had a couple cubes just to lighten it up? Would you?
Couple cubes.
That did it.
Swirled it around, make it nice and chilled. It was warm outside. We're sitting back in Dre's beautiful house, and we're taking a break. And he's got to drinking. He was like, "Oh, this is good." And then he kept drinking a little bit, and he kept drinking a little bit, and he kept drinking a little bit more. And it was gone. And next thing you know, he was laughing and joking and talking.
All for one.
And then he left. He left. He just left. I was like, where'd he go? Man, I'm fucked up.
All that smoking, and the drink is the alcohol, right?
Dog, it was the alcohol that got him. I was like, damn. I was like, that's crazy. But he got his get back, man. I was at his studio. I was at the compound in LA, and I was like, you know what? He just went in the back room to go probably pass out or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I see this. Let me get this joint out the ashtray. Had a little, because he stopped at it. Usually people stop real short. He had a lot. I was like, I'm gonna just hit it real quick. Took a hit. Took another hit. Then okay, this tastes good. Yeah, like this tastes good. This tastes good. And he was waiting on me this time to do a record. Man, I passed out on the couch at the compound. Bro, I was done. So I was like, okay, that was my personal get back. So, so
Snoop set you up. He put it out there on purpose. That's what he did. He put it out there on purpose.
That's what he was doing. Like, welcome to Death Row. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, it is. It's interesting, man, just to hear these kind of stories and stuff, and kind of see where you're going. And one of the things I asked Sean Stockman too, because you're combining R&B, kind of old school, new school. In 5 years, where do you see R&B?
I don't.
Because it's different. Good, you what?
It ain't gonna be good, man.
Really?
I'm just being honest. We had R&B artists, and man, I know I'm gonna get backlash for saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway because this is how I feel, and I feel like I do so many interviews a day, man, and I feel like being on this, I'm having fun talking to you. Mm-hmm. You big bro. I could be real, man. R&B artists have a extreme crabs in a barrel mentality. We are so honed in on outdoing each other that we don't have. I think it was RL, Genuine, Tyrese.
Was it Tank? Was it Tank?
It wasn't Tank. It was K. Talking about it was the one joint that they did, Best Man That I Can Be.
Oh, okay.
They were singing together and hanging on each other's shoulder and just they were just, oh my God, they were just singing together as a unit and having fun and they were just like pouring their heart out about brotherhood and being together in R&B. We ain't got that no more. We ain't got that. We don't have that anymore. I can call Tyrese. Me and Tyrese have done numerous records. We just finished one. He's probably about to drop it tonight at midnight, knowing him.
So is this? What was the one you dropped? It was on his CD.
Bedroom Bully.
Yeah, what was it?
Bedroom Bully.
Yeah, Bedroom Bully. That's it. Yeah. Ooh, fire.
Started with a kiss licking on your lips, but you're dealing with a bedroom bully.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. But is that an industry? Because music all around has changed. Now, but every era has a different, I don't care if it's sports, if it's music, if it's acting, if it's movies. It's not going to stay the same. Every era is going to change and has to change. But what you're saying is that from an R&B perspective, it's really diminished and killed the genre of R&B because of those changes.
Absolutely. Everybody's just, hey, like I said, I'm not going to say names, but I've been in situations where I've performed in the vicinity of R&B artists, and they have completely treated me like shit. And I'm like, I can't wait to get to this venue to meet these a couple artists. And I'm like, man, I'm such a fan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yo, this person, oh man, I grew up listening to you. Or, oh man, yo, my boy is a big fan. I'm a big fan. We gotta do something together. And you get there and they completely just treat you like, you broke in their house and stole something. And I've had that so many times over, man, to where I just get frustrated and I just get down like, damn, man, I I've been listening to you for 15 years, 20 years, and then you gonna do me like this? You gonna call security? You gonna cut my mic? You gonna have somebody come out and pull the cords on me? Man, I'm competitive. One of my number one favorite artists is R. Kelly, hands down, no matter what. That's my favorite artist. And I learned from the best as far as writing style from him. Man, I'm not letting up. And Charlie Wilson called me and told me, he said, don't you let nobody outdo you. And I said, all right, Charlie. He said, oh, no, you're not hearing me. Don't you let nobody outdo you. You get on that stage, no matter if it's me, whoever it is, you go out on that stage and you go give 120%. You go out there and put up 50 points real quick. And I'm like, okay, Charlie, all right, Uncle Charlie, I got you, Uncle Charlie. And now I get it. But
in a respectful way, though. In a respectful way, right? Compete, go out there and do your thing in a respectful way, and not taking away from what this other artist is doing. Is what he's saying, right?
Yeah, in a respectful way. But if they get out of pocket, then you go out there and kill them vocally out of pocket. Then you go take care of it. They started, but you end it. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. And I just have that competitive. Snoop has to call me sometimes and be like, man, you going at people's throats right now, like on songs, like, to the point where R&B artists are sending me records and they're not sending me their references on there. They're not sending me with their verses on it. They want to hear what I'm going to put in.
Then they'll come back with theirs.
I'm like, well, hey, if that's what y'all want to do, cool. We can do that. We can do that all day. I'm just competitive, man. I'm super competitive, and I just get out there and I do what I can. I'm humble about mine. I don't get out there and act like I'm the best singer in the world, because Tank is one of my favorite artists, and that dude can sing his ass off. And I study him and his runs. I study his runs and everything, and I'm still studying Tank's runs. But when it comes to writing, R. Kelly was the one that I was just like, oh, I can't believe he even thought about that. Why didn't I think of that? So I'm competitive by nature, man, but I respect all these R&B artists, and I just wish that I got the respect back. Do I get it from certain artists? Absolutely. From majority of artists, whether it's Sean from Boys and Men, he just texts me like, yo, let's do something. Tyrese.
Sean a Libra, like me, you, Snoop. Sean is a Libra. So he gets it. Who else? Who else hit you up?
Ooh, man, I got so many. I got rappers hit me up. I just did a record for Game for his documentary 3. That's going to be crazy. So many artists, man. Like I said, obviously I've worked with Dre. I've worked with so many artists, but the ones that some of, and that's a handful. A handful have only treated me dirty or whatnot, and that's cool. It's fine. But
enough to let you know how this industry is, though, too.
Yeah, especially when I'm on Death Row Records. I'm the flagship for Death Row Records, which is a rap label. So for me to do that is crazy automatically. But I'm on Death Row where I can move a certain way. I could say, man, Snoop, up in an EDM mood. He'd be like, go ahead and make it, nephew. Let's go. Let's put it out. Get him. But these artists on these labels, I'm not going to name the labels, but all these big major labels, they're not letting their artists do none of this, man. They're not letting them go. They're not letting them go out there and go put all these points on the board. Why? Because, well, you got to make sure this person, but oh, you know what? You can't put this album out right now because this artist right now is a little bit bigger. So, you got to give them their shine. We know you'll get them, but, you'll probably do better, but we got to give them their shine because the contract states. Snoop is totally different. He's like, look, man, how you feel today? I feel like doing a Mo Better blues vibe type of album. Can't wait to hear it. I'll talk to you when you're done. He ain't over the shoulder like, I don't like that. You should do this. We got to call this person. Snoop knows write, produce, mix, master, engineer, everything. Everything. So he's like, just call me when it's done. Send it to me. Send it to me. We transfer. Let's get it. And then he'd be like, when you want to put it out? Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like this Mo Better Blues album would be probably good during like the winter, man. It's cuffing season. I feel like people are going to be in the house. They need to vibe. They're going to be smoking their cigar. They're going to be drinking their October's bourbon. I think they should get this. All right, cool. We'll put it out in December. But remember, just at least put out a Christmas album too. All right, Snoop, for sure. We'll shake up on it. Done deal. Snoop is the easiest person to get along with.
See, and that's the autonomy he gives you being an independent label like that you're not restricted to the big boys and what lane you got to stay in. And you mentioned, too, all of these artists sending stuff and want to work with you. Is there, and it doesn't matter what genre, is there an artist or two that you want to particularly work with?
Absolutely. There are, let me just get it right. 1, 2. There's literally only 3. There's only 3 artists that I want to work with right now. That I'm just like, man, if I work with these artists, I will just fulfill the bucket list. Obviously, 1 I can't fulfill. I'm not going to add the 4th one because I can't, because he's locked up. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. So I can't do that. That was number 1, hands down. Number 2, oh no, I'm sorry, that was 5. The 5th one I can't because he's incarcerated.
Right.
Maxwell, me and Maxwell haven't done a song together, but Maxwell's a big fan of mine. Okay. I talk to Maxwell at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Maxwell, okay, got that.
Dude, man, beautiful soul, man. Always checks up on me. You need anything? I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. You need anything? All good. Maxwell, got to do a song with him. I got to do a song with John Mayer. Dude, one of my favorite artists. I got to do it, man. Sade, man.
Oh, Jesus. Come on, man. Stop playing, man. Stop playing. Don't do that to me. Oh, yeah. I got a chance to hear our last concert tour in 2010. I had goosebumps, bro.
But we just... Close. Me and Snoop just did Is It a Crime with me and...
Yeah, I know, it's right.
So, it's kind of there. Is It a Crime with Sade sample on it. And then lastly, the man, the myth, the legend himself, D'Angelo, man. Brown Sugar? Come on, man, stop.
Uh-huh.
Come on, stop.
Hey, you know what? And I love that, too. You know who I love to see you do a duet with on this level is Alex Isley.
She was supposed to be on the tour, but she was overseas.
Was she?
Me and her, I called her, my agent, Dennis Ashley, called Alex Isley's team and was like, man, October loves Alex, man, and he would love for her to be on tour. And she was like, damn it. She was like, I'm overseas. Like, man. She was like, I've been wanting to do something, like do a tour. Oh, dude, I love Alex. She has a beautiful soul.
Beautiful.
And man, can she sing her ass off.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones, just because, she's promotionally probably not being pitched or probably out there like that because of the style of what she sings. But when you listen to her music, you feel a lot better. You feel like you're in a certain space, peace of mind. It gets you thinking, it gets you laid, especially if you have a nice cigar, got a little something on the side, a little drink, and you're chilling. It's something about her voice.
Man. Alex Isley's a beast, man. I love Alex Isley. She's on the list as well. Like as far as female, collaboration, Alex Isley, Sade's number 1 on the list, obviously. Those 2, man, are just her is amazing. Yeah, man, it's a few artists that I've been wanting to work with. There's a couple others I can't think off the rip right now because I'm brain fog. But man, Alex Eisen is a beast, man. I hope we've been having conversations little by little about having the next October London tour in 2026, and Alex Isley is definitely on the top of the list of being like, yo, please come out with me. I just love to tour with you. Pick your brain. Maybe we might even do a couple records together while we're on the road. Maybe an EP. Mm-hmm. So artists like that, man, I just love. I'm inspired by, and I just look forward to it. But this next October London tour, which I'm gonna talk to you about it privately, just to let you know where my head is at, dude. If you see where my head is at, man, it's gonna be crazy. So
Bro, a couple more things. Well, I'd love to see, because I didn't go this year. I went to Afro Nation in Portugal it was Afro Beats. But I'd love to see you performing at Rotterdam North Sea Jazz Festival. I just think in Europe, when you go to these events, and that's one of the oldest, it started off as a jazz festival, but you got all these different genres, big groups, small acts, whatever it is. I saw Samara Joy, young jazz artist, probably out of Bronx. She's out of Bronx, 23, 24, being compared to a young Billie Holiday. But I see artists like that. So you got big names like, it was Sting did his and Seal did his. And I saw Sam Jones do, that. But then you have smaller acts too. And I'm not saying you're a smaller act, but it just goes up and down. Tim's was there, so it's not just jazz, it's all these genres. I think that they really buy into that appreciation of your sound, and you can do different parts of who you are, which would be great. I love to see that. And when you're making your music, and I just got a couple more things before we get out of here. We got to hit the cigar thing. But when you're making your music, is there a message you want your fans to take out of it?
I just want them to take out of it that what I was speaking on earlier. A lot of artists are doing songs because label heads are over their shoulder saying, "Sing this, say this, do this, all that." I'm coming straight from the heart. This is just how I feel. So all of my music that you're getting is real. It's no gimmicks to it. And you came to one of my shows where I was like, "Hey, ain't no auto-tune on my shit."
Right.
And that's kind of a jab, like I said,
you put it in there. You put it out there. I got you.
Yeah, I put it out there.
I got you.
So I'm just talking shit. I like to talk shit on stage. I like to be myself. And that's the thing. On stage, off stage, whether, you're at my crib, you're never gonna get fake Jared. And I did screw October, Sam Nash, DJ Jared as just a human being, as a person. You're never gonna get fake out of me at all, because I don't want nobody to be fake to me. If I'm doing something out of pocket, whether it's online or something, I expect my big brothers like you or Tyrese to be like, "Yeah, you're shooting us good," looking out, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to look out for each other, being in the entertainment industry, whether it's basketball, football, music, whatever it is. That's kind of our job, to keep each other in check in a respective way, to be like, "Hey, look, man, bro, don't let people get to you like that. Don't let this get to you." So I always like to show my fans I'm just a real person, and I'm just here to have a good time, and to hopefully, get you guys to have a good time, And I was at the grocery store the other day, and this dude had his kid, and he was like, "Man, you know who that is?" And he was like, "I think so." And he was like, "Oh, that's October London." He was like, "What? What are you doing in here?" I'm like, little man, I need groceries too."
Need groceries.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, but you deserve it. I mean, and with success comes challenges. I mean, you're going to have pushback, whether it's through the labels itself or the industry or individuals. But that's the beautiful part about it, because a lot of people will quit. A lot of people won't continue to push forward because of the negativity, or being stereotyped, or being put in the box. They can't handle the pressure of being scrutinized, and that's what comes with it. The higher you grow, the more famous you get, the more scrutiny is going to come. But it's scrutiny for a reason, because if you're not successful, then people ain't going to really talk about you anyway. So that means you're doing something right. So that comes with the territory, and I'm sure you understand that. I know you know that, and I know you're not pulling back. Plus, you're a Libra. Now, all that we talked about, fire, most important question here. Chilling at home, you grabbing a cigar first, or you grabbing the bourbon?
Cigar first.
Okay. I was about to say, because you're going to have some problems if you ain't say. And it's something different about people that don't smoke cigars don't understand what it is that we do, that really just sit back and then enjoy a nice cigar, whether you're in great company or if you're just chilling by yourself. It's something about that cigar that gives you a certain clarity, a certain easiness to your thought process. To me, I mean, it's just, I'm in a whole different world, bro, when I got my cigar.
I am, man. Every time I grab my cigar, that's the first thing I grab, and then I figure out, what beverage I'm gonna have with it. Sometimes it's with my bourbon. Other times it'll be a wine. I'm a wine person through and through. But when I grab that cigar, that first total of that cigar, I kind of sit back and I just get to thinking like Like what all right, what have I not done? Who do I need to call? Who do
Exactly.
I need to
Yeah.
okay. That's that cigar, that first hit, that cigar, you kind of lean back on the wall and be like, you know what, wait a minute. What do I need to do today? And that's how I kind of start my day
Hmm.
off is with that, man. And just, I got an 8-year-old son, man. So, I get up every morning, make sure he's good. Then after that, I grab my cigar and I just sit back. And lately I've been looking at everything that I have right now, how blessed I am, and how good God has been. And I just sit in this garage. I'm in a garage now, and I'm just like, man, okay, what's the next level? What's the next step? What have I not done? Not musically, but what have I not done for the people around me? What have I not done for people that mess with me, that really are with me? What have I not done for my church? What have I not done for my parents? What can I do to ease stress of the people around me? And that's my biggest thing, because I'm at this level of success thanks to God, and my hard work second. God first, hard work second. And I just kind of sit back and I'm like, all right, what do I need to do? Let me call my dad up. Hey man, you guys need anything? Like I said, my dad's successful. They're retired. My parents, they don't need nothing. And I just be calling them, hey, what's up? What you need? Oh, we're about to go to the store. You want me to go? You want me to go to the store? I'll go get it for you, whatever you need. And then after that, I get done talking to them. I'm, asking, my son's mom and my son's mom are separated. I'm just like, hey, is everything good? Is there anything where I fell back on? Is there obviously not? I'm
Hmm.
like, all right, bet. Just making sure that everybody around me is good. And it's tough because you and me are Libras, and in some way, shape, or form, we're alike. We like to make sure everybody is good and everybody's taken care of, and nobody feels like you're abandoning them or not talking to them for whatever reason. So we like to take care of people. So I just really take that first hit of that cigar and I just kind of sit back and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? And I just thank God for everything that I have, man, for real.
Well, with that kind of attitude and that kind of perspective, bro, it's nothing that you can't do, nothing you can't accomplish. There'll be some hiccups, some bumps in the road,
Yeah.
some challenges, but the road to success is not easy. There's not a smooth path.
Yeah.
You got to figure your way out. You got to go through some heartbreak, some difficult times. But at the end of the day, when you love what you do, it's really not work. You just got to figure out what your lane is and keep it moving. So, brother, I'm here. I love it. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on. I know you're busy, but, I'm following, I'm watching. Anytime you want to chop it up, let me know. Can't wait to get that bourbon. Then the wine is coming next, and then the tour, then all of this. So I'm buying in. I've been there since day one, and I'm loving every bit of it. So I appreciate you, brother. I want you to enjoy that cigar,
Thank you.
that bourbon. Have a great day, great weekend. And, we'll catch up soon, especially when you get back to L.A.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. I'm gonna have you out here, man. I'm gonna fly you out here, man. We gotta hang out for it. Especially, it's about to be football time. It gets cooler in the Midwest. I gotta get you out here like within the month, man. Otherwise it's gonna get chilly.
Yeah, I
And
ain't
I know,
coming when it's snowing. I tell you that now.
no, that's what I'm saying, bro. I gotta get you out. I gotta get you out here while it's in the
Yeah,
70s and 80s before
yeah.
it gets to the 50s and
I could
40s.
do
So
I could do 60s. I could do 60.
yeah, but we gotta go. We gotta do the whole thing, man. So we gotta make that happen. And to anybody that's watching this, man, that you have kids, make sure By the way, I'm also a business owner as well. So if you have kids, man, go on YouTube, go to Doggyland.
Mm.
Me, Snoop, and Claude Brooks own Doggyland, the kids show, man, that just absolutely exploded, man. If you've heard of Coco Melon, and you've heard of Gracie's Corner and all that, man, we're in the top five, man, of one of the best kids shows, man, out there. Educational kids show. We do affirmations. We do, ABCs, your numbers. We're doing stuff from. I report here in South Bend, Indiana, and it goes all the way to Kenya. It goes
Wow.
all the way to Malawi, Africa. It goes all the way to Australia. So we're just doing so well with this kid stuff, man. I'm just so happy that the kids love the music and the things that I'm doing. My son's got a kids book
Hmm.
coming out. He's on the show as well. He goes by Lil Tug, and I voice the character Wolfie on Doggyland. I do the music, and I'm co-owner of Doggyland. So for
And
anybody
what
watching, if you
platform?
got kids, on YouTube, go
On
to YouTube.
YouTube.
Just go
Okay,
to
got it.
YouTube YouTube or
Yep.
YouTube Kids and type in Doggyland. It's gonna pop right up, man. And I'm just I'm just very grateful and very blessed, man. So I just appreciate being on this show, man, on this podcast. This is honestly one of the best that I've ever done, man. I just love you for having me on, man, and just thank you. I appreciate you.
Always, brother. Always. Talk to you soon too.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Yep. Man, that was a vibe. Big thank you to October London, a.k.a. Sam Nash, for blessing us with some stories, some laughs, and, of course, that energy that only true R&B can give. If you haven't already, go stream his music. It's therapy for your ears and also for the speakers. And as always, thank you for kicking it with us here on the show. Until next time, stay cool, stay soulful, and don't do anything October wouldn't sing about.